What's going on? It's my Nano Pro, and today we are going to react to the Pioneer DJ DJM V10. This will be the last mixer of this channel to react to. Next thing, the next up is the Alpha Theta XDJ AZ. So, what the AZ is, what the XDJ AZ is, it's Pioneer CDJ 3000, which at a time of its release was the Pioneer Pioneer CDJ 3000. I guess they rebranded that to Pioneer or that Alpha Theta CDJ 3000X and Pioneer DJM V or that Pioneer DJM A9. And the screen that is in the middle and it's like upward is exact like design of the 3000X. So yeah, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
6 channels, multiple send and return options, new effects. This is the brand new Pioneer DJM V10. Here it is, the Pioneer DJM V10. A new style of mixer from Pioneer DJ, quite different to the 900 Nexus and the Nexus range.
I just realized there are 4 EQ knobs. Like usually there would be low mid or no EQ, mid EQ, and high EQ. Now I don't know what these are. I don't know. Anyway.
Of mixers that we've had up until this point. What does this 6-channel mixer really have to offer, and what market are they going for? In this complete demo and review, we're going to take a closer look at all of the features of this mixer, why it's such a powerful thing, and even some ideas of how to use it in creative ways. Please be aware that this is a sample unit that was sent to us from Pioneer, so this won't necessarily be the final product that is shipped upon release. However, from playing with it, there's been no flaws with this unit anyway, and I can't imagine them changing too much about it, but I just have to put that in there. As always, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff to help us keep making more videos and reviews just like this one. So here we have it. Let's just take a moment.
Okay. I checked, like I went off full screen because I was checking if I subscribed to him, and I was about to say, ask and ye shall receive.
To soak in the size and just how much is going on.
I'm going to say this. Excuse me. In my opinion, if this has the Pioneer CDJ 3000s or Alpha Theta CDJ 3000X, that's okay, but they're almost like up the height of the V10, but the CDJ 2000 Nexus 2, oh god, that's like, again, in my opinion, it's just way too small. Anyway.
On the face of this Pioneer DJM V10 mixer. This is a powerhouse of a club mixer, and it's got a new look and feel from Pioneer compared to their old Nexus range of mixers. This is definitely designed with a certain specific market in mind. It still has the same build quality that you would expect from a Pioneer product, but there's a few new looks, like new style filter knobs and different coloured buttons instead.
Hold on, I need to check my laundry. I'll be right back.
Still feels great. Really nice pots, really nice faders, and all of that good stuff from Pioneer. So let's take a closer look at what you actually get with this mixer. First of all, I just want to get out of the way that this is compatible via the USB. We've got USB A and B. It's compatible to plug and play with.
Those are Ethernet outlets, not USB-C. So it's Ethernet. So it's Ethernet A and B. The fuck?
with Rekordbox DJ on your laptop. You can also plug in Serato DJ and Tractor with an added expansion that will be paid for, but you can plug in pretty much any setup directly with a laptop into either of these USB ports. But I imagine the majority of people that are going to be using this mixer and getting hands-on with it will be using a CDJ setup with USBs plugged in, amongst a range of other devices which we're going.
I just realized, where's the buttons where it says like filter, noise, all that? What the fuck?
To get onto how lots of other devices will connect to this mixer as well. First of all, this mixer is a 6-channel mixer. Each channel has a range of connectivity options which you can see along the top via this switch. So
obviously, or not obviously, Jesus. I'm going to, if I'm going to have a V10, I'm going to use it as a spare in case the DJM V10 starts, acting up. So again, it'll be a replacement. If I'm going to have CDJs, I'm going to have CDJs on 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll be CDJs numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. So yeah, here we go.
So, along the 6 channels, they all have options for line inputs, digital, and USB inputs. So that's so you can plug in CDJs or line level devices. You can plug in digital devices, and also if you plug your laptop in, you can access up to all 6 channels or spread them out across these 6 channels using the A and B options on the channel selector. Now, 4 of the 6 channels have phono preamps in, so you can plug in turntables into channels 1, 3, 4, and...
What I just did there is something I saw on YouTube a while back. Yeah.
6. Channels 2 and 5 have a multi-IO option so that you can plug in external devices via the multi in and out here and then send them to either the 2nd or 5th channel. The middle 4 channels, 2, 3, 4 and 5, have built-in external 1 and 2 selectors so that you can route built-in effects or external devices into any of those 4 channels there in the center. And then the outside 2 channels, 1 and 6, have a built-in, just like I mentioned. They also have built-in and the external 1 and 2, so you can send...
I'm sorry, it's just this fucking thing. This cord for my headphones is too fucking long.
3 sources all to that 1 channel, and then channel 1 has external 1, channel 2 has external 2. So there are a multitude of options for setting up your live setups and routing so many different pieces of equipment and devices and instruments into this mixer. Next, let's look at these channel EQs. Pioneer have now added a 4-band EQ. What that means is we've got the low and the high EQ, which are total isolator EQs, which means we can total kill them. And then the mid-high, the high mid and the low mid is basically...
A high mid and a low mid? What? Okay. That's interesting.
So the middle frequency on normal mixers split into 2 pots. So you can control the middle frequency and shape your sound via the 2 pots instead of 1. There are different curves in these to the high and the low. So these only go to minus 26 dB rather than total isolator. And it just means that you could kill both the high and the low and play around with the mids. Let's have a listen. Another new feature is a dedicated compressor for each channel right at the top of the channel here. So if you've got older music that's maybe been recorded live and it's not up to the level of some of the newer electronic music, there's now a compressor which will boost the overall level and basically compress that channel. So this one doesn't need it, but if you have a listen, you'll hear the drive push through. And this will just allow you to bring any sort of like Motown or funk tracks and bring them up to level and sample them and just push the level of them into some electronic music. So that's a nice added feature there, is the compressor. The channel faders are all assignable to the left and right of the crossfader. We've got a Magvel crossfader in this mixer just in case any scratch DJs are going to find themselves on this kind of mixer. I don't think it's designed for those DJs, but it's nice to have that fader there in case you do end up on one. So anyone that used an older Pioneer DJM 2000 Nexus or DJM 2000 will be used to this style of filter, or on that mixer was a sound color effect. Now it's a bit different. DJM
I just want to look at this. Ah. Well. Okay. Yeah. All right.
900 Nexus, for example, you'll be used to seeing all the filters or the effects all set here at the off position. Now it's been switched around and we've now got an LPF and a HPF, low pass filter and high pass filter. We start right over to the left and you can put the LPF on, for example, and then we can go all the way around or switch to the HPF. And we've got this nice clean filter with a much broader spectrum than something like the DJM 900 Nexus. There is also a resonance control to boost the resonance. As you can hear there. So you can really shape these filters to how you really want to play and the sound that you're trying to create. They're really, really clean. I really like them. You'll also notice there is a filter on the master level too, so you can just filter the entire master channel. Moving down, we have something else new for Pioneer.
Hold on. I'm sorry again. I need to grab something to drink. BRB. Alright guys, I'm back. Yeah, eat some apple juice.
To the entire master channel. Moving down, we have something else new for Pioneer. Here we have the dual headphone cue. Now this has been featured on other brands of mixer before, so this isn't totally new technology obviously, but it's really nice to see it now on this Pioneer DJM V10.
Oh, there they are. So I see dub echo, reverb. That's all I see.
So how this works, we've got a headphones A here, which we've got some headphones plugged in. There's an 1/8 inch and a 1/4 inch jack there. And we've also got headphone B, which plugs in to the front of the mixer, both with an 1/8 and a 1/4 inch jack. The controls for headphones B are over here. So it's nice that we've got headphones A on the left, headphones B on the right. So if you're going back to back with another DJ, you're not reaching over each other to control your cue levels. Each headphone has its own level control and mix control, because we can put the master cue on here, so we can mix between the master and the channel cue.
Hold on, I need to go to the restroom. I'm sorry, I keep fucking leaving every fucking time. He's not back.
The master cue on here, so we can mix between the master and the channel cue. And then headphones A has a pre-EQ and a mono split control as well, and both headphones have a link cue feature too. Now how it works is, say for example this track is playing and DJ A wants to preview the track on the left hand side, they can just use the cue here. If DJ B also wants to listen to what DJ A is lining up, they can add that on as well. However, DJ A could be mixing between these two channels and just using this, and DJ B could be previewing some channels over here, or playing around with a drum machine and previewing that independently to what A is listening to. So it doesn't detract from those back-to-back sets, you're not passing headphones between each other, and you're not confusing each other by adding the same source into both of the headphones, for example. So that's a really nice, neat feature with a lot of capability. Each channel has both headphone cues, and so does the master. Now for the send controls. Now this is a really exciting thing that Pioneer has added. What you've basically got here are send controls for each channel. Now what a send control is you can route something through that channel, or even take that and send it to another channel. So Pioneer have ultimately built in 4 different guitar pedals essentially into the mixer itself. We've got short delay, long delay, dub echo and reverb.
Oh.
These built-in send effects can be controlled with different parameters such as the size and feedback, the time of that effect, the tone of that effect, and then how loud that effect is on the master mix level. These effects can be added to the master mix with this button. So let me just play some audio and show you how this works with the master mix to start with. So let's play this song. Turn on long delay, for example. Now, if I just leave these all at 12 o'clock and have master mix on, when I bring send up, you start to hear the effect. I can go right round, it's very loud there. We can then change the tone and the sound of this effect, the time, and it can get pretty crazy. Let's jump to another part of the track. Let's try short delay. So you can hear the different tones on that, different lengths of time. And that works post fader as well. Now please notice that this master mix level, if I turn this down, it just kills the effect off. If I turn the send down, the effect continues until it's faded away. So as you can see, very powerful. Let me just quickly show you, you've heard short delay and long delay, let me show you dub echo and reverb. Now, the send effects sound really great. I love them. This is such a nice, neat feature that's been added and obviously perfect for those DJs that use guitar pedals. Now, don't get me wrong, you can still use your guitar pedals by using the external 1 or 2, and these can be accessed by the jack inputs on the back. So we've got send and return jacks on the back of the mixer, and these can also be layered on top of the built-in effects. You could even have both external 1 and 2 and a built-in effect all going at the same time. Obviously the external effects aren't controlled here. The external sends are controlled via whether you've got a guitar pedal or whatever else plugged in. Now, if that's not enough, you can actually then take it a step further. Using a spare channel, because obviously we've got 6 channels here, we've got a lot of channels to work with, you can decide to have the send effects routed through to another channel. Rather than just coming out of the master mix, you can control them further, apply filters to them, apply beat effects to them, and even change the EQs. So let's have a listen. If I, for example, choose short delay, turn off master mix because I don't want it to come through the master, and then make sure that the channel selector is on built in, for example. Now, when I add the send up, turn the send up, you'll notice that we've got some signal coming through here and on this channel because I've got it on built in as well. And as I bring the level up, you start to hear it. We can shape the EQs, we can filter and find the frequency we like. We can change the size and feedback and everything. And then we can just control it, turn the send down. You'll notice if I take the original source away, there's the effect that we have left. So this is really cool. We can start using extra channels just to control effects. Then if you're not satisfied with just the send effects, we've got beat effects as standard, just like on older Pioneer mixers. However, we've also got a new effect added in here, which is shimmer. So I'm going to show you that one first and then explain how this nice big LCD screen works here as well. It's really nice to have this big screen. We can see everything we need, all the parameters we need just on this screen, as well as access some of the settings and utilities, which I'll show you shortly. The one big difference now is that the beat effects, you don't switch between the different channels down here. You add the effects on here. One thing I've noticed, you can't put two channels on at the same time, but you do have a master beat effects assigned. So you can either apply an effect to the entire master or individual channels. So these beat effects, you know, even on the older mixers, you couldn't have two channels on at once. So it's not like it's different, it's just the way you access them are different. But don't get confused, you can't just press two at once and add it to both channels. So let's say we put it on channel 2. Let's turn it up. Just like on other Pioneer mixers, we've got a low, mid and high FX frequency, so we can choose what the effect is going to be applied to, which frequency range. I'm going to leave it on all of them for now. We can change the size of the effect with these beat buttons here. Turn it on, we've got the level. And here's shimmer, so we could change the size of it.
I don't like that effect. I have to admit, like.
And then on the X pad, which is this nice big graph now, you can change the tone or the overtone of it on this effect. This is a really nice new effect for build-ups and atmosphere. You've got all the usual effects as well that you'd find on, say, the DJM 900 Nexus. We've got Helix on there. You can see now we have graphs instead, which is much more visual for the X pad. And that graph will change depending on the effect that you have on. Here we have, say on Echo, we've got the beat fractions, and this works the same as before on an X pad. And you can tap it to turn it on, let go to turn it off. You also have quantize with the touch screen, so you can quantize the effects to the track. You've got the auto or tap function here, and that's touch screen again, or you can manually tap it in here. Also in the screen we have the My Settings and the utility options. So click the gear icon, you can go in, and then we have loads of pages, 1 of 23. In here we can actually store how we want the effects to be set up and then recall them at a later date. So if I scroll down to page 10, I'm going to come back to the other ones, we can see all the different effects. Here we've got delay, echo, ping pong, and it's going through all the effects in the beat effects. And then we can change all the parameters, like when I go into Helix, for example, I want it to be on half a beat as standard, and I want the FX frequency to be on the high to be turned off. So you can change the FX frequency and the beat fraction of all of the effects, and then go back to the first page and you can store the beat effect setting. And then once you've stored it, you can load it again. So when you come onto the mixer, you can load your effects in, and when you click onto the different effects, basically it will turn the FX frequency on and off and change the beat fraction to how you've got it set up. Also within the utility section, we've got channel fader curve, which we had a shortcut to before. We've got the crossfader curve, which we also had a shortcut to. There are options for the headphone A, which we have buttons over here for the pre-EQ and mono split. We have beat FX quantize. Again, there was a shortcut to that, so we don't need to go in the settings to turn that on and off. And we have the mic low cut, and you can turn the mic low cut on and off as well. Talk over mode for the mics, and also the MIDI options. Brightness, this is cool. So we can change the display and change the brightness of this display that I'm talking about, but you can also put it on white. So if you're playing in the daytime, you can still see what you want.
I wasn't expecting that.
We go back in there, go back down, and we've got the indicator brightness as well. So that's all of these lights, such as the send lights and the beat effects assigns. Before we move on to the master level and these isolators, which are cool, I just want to show you how some of these things I've just talked about can be combined to make quite a unique setup all built into the mixer itself. So for example, I'm going to add a beat effects to a send effect that I've routed to another channel. So for example, if I've got this track playing, let me just jump into it. I could turn on, for example, the short delay. I could bring it into this channel because I've got it set up with the built-in. It's now routed to this channel. I could then put the beat effects assign on that channel after shaping it.
Okay, nope, I'm not doing this. Nope. There we go. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at something. Oh, fuck.
With some filters. Sounds nice. And then I could turn the roll on, for example, on half a beat and just create a build-up. And you can see how straight away, by combining different things inbuilt in the mixer, you can start to get creative. We could apply a shimmer just to the effect.
If you heard that now, bang, that was the air conditioner getting turned on.
And there you have just one of many examples of how you could start using this mixer to its full potential, combining the send effect, sending it to another channel, and then applying a beat effect over that after shaping the sounds. Then, as promised, let's look at the master level and this isolator. These nice big knobs that we've got on here, really tactile, they feel great, they're really easy to just jump and grab. Now, what this does is it applies an EQ to the entire master level. So you could have loads of channels mixing at the same time. You could have a loop, a drum machine, all sorts going on, and you could find a nice, almost like a live produced piece of music, and then you could start isolating and EQing that entire piece of music. And here you can hear the total isolators. Maybe you're double dropping in drum and bass and you want to just total kill the low before dropping it in. There's loads of things that you could do by having these nice tactile buttons here on the isolator EQs on the master, sorry. So also worth noting that the booth has a high and low EQ as well, so you can shape the sound in the DJ booth as well as the level. And the master level, we've also got a clip icon to let you know if you are just touching those reds and pushing it a bit too hard. I've just moved a few things around so that I can fit in the iPad now, just to show you the multi-I/O port. This multi-in-out port, at the moment I've got an iPad plugged in using the RMX 1000 app that Pioneer DJ sell. This I can plug in just via a USB, and then simply I can switch between channel 2 and 5 or the insert mode on the USB. Then on USB I can choose which channel I want it.
Oh, yeah. They have an app for the RMX 1000, which is basically a remix station. So you got the high mid, low mid, low EQ, mid EQ, high EQ, and there's like effects here. And then there was like clap, snare, kick, roll, and hi-hat. If you hit clap and hit one of these buttons, it'll start clapping and we'll repeat that. I'd say I do this. It'll start repeating it unless you cancel that, which I forgot how to cancel that. So anyway.
To be applied to, let's just choose the master for now. Turn it on when it's flashing, turn the level up. And now when we listen, I can apply effects from here. And I can use this app to its entirety. Got my isolator there, I've got loads of different effects that we can use. I can add in samples. And we can play around just with this app, and it's as simple as just plugging it in there, and we can turn the level up and down, and that controls the master level here. And turn that off. Another way to use the multi-IO is to use something like a sampler or a beat pad like this on the iPad. Plugged in, I can assign it to a channel, such as channel 5. I can turn it on and then and you'll want to play around with the levels here and the trim here to make sure you're not hitting the red and it's balanced with your channel level. And you can start finger drumming just even on an iPad plugged directly into this mixer. It's worth noting that you can also plug your, say, iPhone into here as well and use the DJM Record app to record your sets. It even charges the iPad or charges your iPhone if you're stuck for a bit of charge in a club as well. Just before we move on to the price of this thing and my thoughts about it, I just want to show you the back of the mixer itself. There's a lot going on. We've got all 6 channels here which correlate to the top of the unit, so it makes it nice and easy for plugging in and setting up. As you'll see, we've got the line and phono or just line options across those 6 channels. We've got an XLR master out, we've got a jack booth out, we've also got an RCA master 2 out. There's a record out for recording devices and recording your sets. You've got digital outs as well for all 6 channels, plus a master out digital there. We have 2 microphones, one a combi XLR jack and the other one just a jack, both balanced. As usual, we've got a link port here to quantize the effects. There's a MIDI out, and then over to our send and returns. We've got external 1 and 2, both send and return, which we've talked about and how they correlate on top of the mixer. And then we've got the multi-IO, the multi-in-out send and return. So this would be great for plugging in, say, like a drum machine, and then you can switch the IO to channels 2 or 5, if I remember correctly. And you can change the selector on the top so that that is sent through that channel. External 1 and 2 are great for effects pedals because you can access them on the top and combine them with the built-in effects that this mixer has to offer. It's also worth pointing out that there is a lockable cable that comes with it. I haven't got it plugged in here because it's a European end and we're here in the UK, so I've just used a normal kettle lead, but that is a lockable kettle plug as well. Just before I give my thoughts on the price, there are some tech specs that I think are worth noting as well. Sound quality wise, we've got specs like these. This is studio grade sound quality that you're getting in a club mixer, so it's going to sound great in any DJ booth around the world. So the price of this thing, it comes in at a suggested retail price of €3,299. I don't know the exact price in pounds or dollars from the press release I've been given, but you can kind of take a guess of a rough price bracket there from that suggested retail price. Now, yes, it's an expensive mixer, but I think Pioneer have designed this specifically for a certain type of artist or club or venue or clientele that are really going to make use of, this solution that they've provided. If you think to DJ booths around the world, and when you go and watch artists and DJs play, especially in the electronic music scene, you're either getting a Pioneer Nexus mixer or another range of mixer, which I'm not going to mention any names, but you can probably guess who I'm talking about. This is obviously their solution for those style of DJs that want the send and return options, that want a multitude of channels, that want, really fine shaping with their sounds and a lot of control over the sounds that they are playing. And this is where this solution comes in. So, you know what? From a Pioneer perspective, if you're used to just playing on a Nexus mixer and you play in clubs regularly as a resident DJ, you kind of have to get familiar with this mixer. It's not just as simple as jumping on it and you feel at home. You've got to really learn the way it's all sort of put together. However, if you're a live artist that has a very unique setup and you've already got, a lot of instruments and drum machines and effects that you use, then you're going to be able to plug it all in and make the most of your live setup and really do some interesting things with it. I'd love to know in the comments what you think about this move from Pioneer, and if you're the type of DJ that's attracted to a mixer like this, what are the features that you particularly like about it, and is there anything they've missed out? Is there anything that you'd love to have seen added and that has been missed, that Pioneer can learn from? So please just drop in the comments below, let us know your thoughts. I've had quite a bit of fun playing on this, but I've only had it for a very short period of time, so I'm excited to get more hands-on with it in the future. Thanks again for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff to help us keep making more reviews and videos just like this one. See you again soon.
Yep, see ya. So, my webcam, I don't know what's going on. It's been acting up. Anyway, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you can be more aware of my future videos, and have a beautiful morning or night, depending on, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.